Hello, guys, and welcome to 21metrics podcast. I'm here today with Quant, Juhani, Savonen. Welcome, Juhani.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
So we are about to discuss Bitcoin macro and markets. So Bitcoin is now at around 70K. So is now time to buy, time to go all in right now. So or could we go lower? Let's see. We have a lot of models here, a lot of data to go through. But first, check our partner SideShift and a new partner Satoskin. But yeah, let's go to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin at 70K. I think Juhani, your thesis is that Bitcoin is now like at the bottom. Basically, we are seeing the capitulation, or could you see like Bitcoin still uh, going lower? We can explore your models later. But what do you think about the spot?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like stabilizing, right? We have had 5, 6 weeks like with more stability again.
Yeah.
Like after a large drop in January and also in February a bit. So I
Yeah.
think now in 3, 4 weeks, a little bit more stable, I would say. And also like in general, like the on-chain activity is picking up. So that's normally a early sign that we are closing into the final stages of the drop in prices, I think, and thereafter in the end of the year, I would expect some recovery to take place. So it seems to be a pretty good place to start buying, I would say.
Mhm. Yeah. So right here we are seeing that we are seeing some like retail buying pressure here, but whales are not that active by the CBD data. But let's move on to this. Is actually my model. I published this article today for Crypto Quant. This kind of like my thesis that Bitcoin has been following the realized price. Realized price is the um, uh, blue area territory here, and like in a bear cycle, Bitcoin has usually like uh, dipped below the surface of the realized price. So basically, we haven't seen that yet, as we can see here at the right. So it's possible that Bitcoin would plunge into the realized price territory, and it would right now it would mean like minus 20% correction down, and then it would be there. And if Bitcoin kind of like correlates with the previous cycles, then Bitcoin would plunge in the realized price, and then spend like maybe 6 months there or something like that, and
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
then recover again. But this is just like one model. You could argue that we are in like a different market. Also, like Bitcoin is kind of I think like behaving differently than before. We have many more institutions now, and it's not that like retail heavy anymore. And but this kind of like my argument, and I kind of like see some weakness still in the Bitcoin price, and also like fundamentally the quantum threat question is not solved. If you look at like Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin just had a speech, and he said that Ethereum is now getting prepared to tackle the threat, but Bitcoin is not like Bitcoin devs are not active at that front yet. So I think that might make the investors a bit scary. But yeah. As Hans also said that there might be a bit more downside ahead, but let's see that's the question. But next model, yeah, so this is about the like the stable coin reserves on Binance, and it would also indicate like a new recovery. And then wells are active. This is a positive indicator. So during the last 30 days, we are seeing a lot of whale activity on Binance. But let's move forward to Juhani's models here. So the first one is your fundamental factor, and it seems to be at the bottom basically, and
Yeah, actually. Yeah. So
yeah.
it basically sums together all the hash rate and new accounts and this kind of indicators and basically shows that we have reached the bottom like in 22. But
Mm,
that's always like early sign, like we saw in after 24 that it took 5-6 months before the market realized that it's overvalued.
Yeah.
So I think that it takes some time before the prices start to pick up strongly. So that's why I expect like end of year or something like that, like October, September, probably after August, I guess. Then it's normally like something starts to happen in all the markets normally. So, but it's kind of like indicates us that it would be like good time to buy actually, or start buying slowly, because if the, let's say, hash rate and the usage of on-chain start to increase, then obviously that would support the idea that valuations should start to pick up, and it will also support it for altcoins as well, right? Solana and the other ones as well, because then there would be again more trust in the crypto market.
Yeah.
But like you mentioned, that there's like the model that you also had pretty long lag, and that's what we see also here in the drop bottom of 22. That if you look the prices in the next slide, for instance, there we will see that it takes some time before, let's say, for instance, the equity space start to show life again. Like in this DeFi Technologies stock, we have really similar behavior, like because it's basically digital asset manager. And we had like massive drop from 22 and 23 still. And in 23, it took still quite a long time before the market realized that it's again a bull market in crypto. So that's why I also think that we are slowly reaching the bottom of this cycle, and then have pretty much lower valuations across the board from Coinbase and other, let's say, stocks for this field, but also like in Bitcoin as well, right? I'm not sure if we have like slide for that, but you basically see that in the Bitcoin would follow the same trend that we had like massive bull run from 23 onwards until early 25. And this also was kind of like captured quite well that we saw last year, and then now it would be like more expectation that prices start to pick up slowly, and obviously because the long lags, it might take some time before we get there when the prices start to pick up. But I think it's definitely shows in more like in the on-chain databases that there's room for upside again.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, but yeah, this chart, this like combines multiple factors. I think, like you said, like hash rate and like.
Yeah, actually, there's like 10 or 20. I think there's 15 of them, different ones, and then I just mathematically calculate which direction on average this indicates the activity of this on-chain activity of Bitcoin is going. And you basically saw so here that we had drop in 20, and then we had like increase, and then after drop when the price collapsed as well in 21, I think. And after 24 we had like massive drop, and that took like some time before market realized that that was the peak.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same case here, that probably people get more afraid of the current geopolitical environment and the volatility of the equity markets, and that might keep the values, of course, lower longer. But I think in medium term, let's say next 6 to 12 months, we will see improvements, I think. And obviously that's not reflected yet the market, because market still feels the fear of the latest draft downs that we had in January and February, right? So market needs to a little bit see price going up, and then more people get courage to follow the trend, let's say, like we normally see in equity markets as well after large drops.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we also had here like last slide here. So global liquidity is looking positive.
Yeah,
here,
it's still picking up, yes. And I think in the crypto side is mainly driven by on-chain activity, like in terms of fundamentals, why the prices have been falling so much. It's not really about the liquidity itself. And I think in X there's a lot of articles about people complaining that Bitcoin should be higher because dollar liquidity. But I think cryptos don't really follow dollar liquidity so much. It just happens to coincide with let's say the on-chain activity of the crypto universe. And just because Bitcoin is the main benchmark asset, and the market as a whole tends to follow where Bitcoin goes. So I think in my view that stocks also should go up a bit because there's more liquidity going in.
Yeah.
The main risk is obviously the higher inflation that we will see in probably a month or two.
Yeah.
When this plays out, because higher commodity prices will show themselves with lag of 1 to 3 months after the prices have risen. So you probably see it then, like during summer or latest in the early autumn.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Do you see like Bitcoin being vulnerable to like the geopolitical crisis? I would say like now we have this war in Iran and war in Ukraine. Like I would see Bitcoin as kind of like a risk-on asset. Some people say that that it's a risk-off asset, but I think it's a risk-on asset. So I would say that now that we have like kind of like a risk-heavy environment, Bitcoin is not performing that well, and cryptos overall. But how would you see it? And like
I think it has been relatively stable last 3 weeks. Like the
yeah,
crypto stocks have like outperformed the overall equity market actually.
that's right.
Like in
That's
the yeah, because
resilient.
if you look like Coinbase, or they don't have fallen so much as the more like traditional companies, I would say. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like indicates that also the valuations are already very low. So
Yeah.
if we don't see so much downside anymore, because if you would have had like Nasdaq or something, and then you had like -1 or 2% openings in the equity market, and these stocks themselves don't move so much down, I think that's also like indication of strength of the digital asset market. So
Yeah.
that might also give more support for idea that valuations are relatively decent and relatively low at the moment.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
kind of might be also indication why crypto would be like good diversifier when we go 6-9 months ahead, when perhaps the equity market starts to reprice itself and we go other direction in crypto space.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right that Bitcoin has been resilient, like amid geopolitical turmoil. Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah. Yeah, good points. So as a summary, I think that my thesis is that Bitcoin might correct a bit further, maybe -20% into the realized price territory. Like following this model, but Juhani sees that the bottom is here, basically. Buy now, go all in. So this is interesting. I think we are kind of like close, but we kind of like have a bit different view here. But let's see how it will develop. Interesting to see different viewpoints. So what do you think, viewers? Let us know. But I think we can continue next time. And thanks for your time, Juhani, as usual. Thanks for your valuable models again.
Yeah, thanks a lot, and see you next time then.
Thanks. Bye.